growing up on the internet, I noticed that a lot of Westerners who thought that they're extremely educated and they are at peak of the human culture, they would look at us Eastern European and they would call us barbaric because of the way we do things. And after all this time, I realized that no, it's actually the other way around. And it's not about barbarism, but it's like the West is incredibly feminine. And what I mean by feminine, it's like when you're a kid and you're playing soccer with the other kids in the playground, and there's like a mother there, and the mother just can't keep to herself. Like she has to communicate, and she's like, Billy, don't kick the ball too hard. You may hurt someone. Johnny, don't run that fast. You know, like. Did you guys had that experience? Like usually when a parrot would come up and it's like, oh my goodness, Robert, do not use such vile language. Do not use that potty mouth. And it's like the entire fun, the entire experience just goes away. Like the kids are playing every single week without that parent there. And, like sure, maybe sometimes someone gets hurt, like they fall down and they get a bruise or like kids playing soccer, right? But that is now becoming unthinkable for the Western society, and unfortunately, they're not just applying it to kids, but they're applying it to adults. And here's like one of these examples. It's a viral video. It's got over 1 million views now, and it shows the economy minister Habeck, and it also explains the main issue with the European Union, right? Like the obsession with safetyism. Now, he has to break a bottle on a ship, right? Like this is a symbolic act when a ship sets up to her first maiden voyage, like some politician or usually a captain or someone. They take a bottle and they break it on the ship, right? Apparently that's too dangerous, right? Because like a shot from the bottle can bounce and injure someone, which again, like technically it is possible. But just man up and fucking accept the risk, right? No, what they're doing is that they're creating this weird device in order to break the bottle on the ship. And as you can see, like, the device isn't even working properly, and it's a complete embarrassment. But not only that, like, it completely takes away from the whole moment. I mean, it's so fucking easy. Just pick a bottle and ram it on the ship, and that's it, right? But no, we need to have safetyism. And then you realize that this is also connected to a grift. Because, like, someone needs to design this thing, and I'm pretty sure that it actually costs more than it normally would, because the government, aka the taxpayer, is paying for it. And there are people that are actually at corporations, again, paid by the taxpayer, in order to figure out, like, what can possibly be unsafe. So they come up with the solution, right? Like, they find the problem, they come up with the solution, the grift is going, the taxpayer money is stolen. And this is, like, just a symbolic thing. It's fucking everywhere. Literally everywhere you have, like, this thing, that, like, the maximum safetyism. And I remember, like, even arguing with Short Fat Otaku about the Amish. Like, back then, there was this scandal that the Amish farmers got raided by the feds because apparently their food was unsafe. And I'm like, well, hold on a little bit, right? Like, the Amish have been farming for hundreds of years, and their food is always sought after. But, like, for some fucking reason, the Biden administration figured out that after all this time, no, the Amish are farming wrong. And there was a scandal, like, someone got diarrhea and got sick, and I'm like, okay, but, like, just man up and fucking take the risk, like, smell it, taste it. Like humanity existed for thousands of years, and we have managed to just have food by farming the normal way. And now you're basically saying that, no, everything that happened in human nature is flat out wrong. We got experts that will provide you with safetyism. And the funny thing is that it's not safe, right? Like, the dev was focusing on the bureaucracy. It's like, well, no, like, the bureaucracy doesn't matter the result. It matters the procedure. And so he said, well, yeah, but, like, if some milk had E. coli and someone died from it, like, the entire operation, the entire farming needs to be shut down. And my point was, like, no, like, if people are aware that if they're eating from the Amish, like, there is a possibility that the milk can be tainted, and people still want to buy, like, they want to buy regardless of that, they should. They absolutely should. And from my understanding, like following the story, it turns out that the Amish weren't even responsible for that. Which, again, this is why I sided with the Amish, because it's like, well, it's siding with tradition. Like, if traditionally it worked for hundreds of years, like, there's no reason why it can't work anymore. But the thing that blows my mind is this concept of safetyism. So, like, okay, the Amish aren't allowed to farm, but then you look at the American food industry, and a big chunk of the Americans are morbidly obese. So you're basically saying that the Amish aren't allowed to farm the way they're doing because it's not safe, but instead the solution is that causes morbid obesity. So, like, the food from the government is actually better than the one from the Amish. And I actually looked online. I never bought from the Amish, but everyone says that their food tastes better because they're using only natural ways of farming the food. Pretty much like the same way that people did in medieval time. And so siding with the government is bizarre. But, like, what happened with the Amish is happening in the European Union at a more extreme scale. And even things like that are fun, like the internet, right? Like, the internet can't be just fun. It can't just be people are having fun and talking about whatever. No, like, we need safetyism. We need guardrails. We need the terms of service. Same with the AI. Like, you can't just have AI. You need safetyism, terms of service. Even making a video game. Like, when you make a video game, if you want to launch it on a platform, you have, like, a list of terms of service with, like, things that you're not allowed to do. And it's like, it's fucking fiction. Yeah, but, like, you can't talk about drugs and tobacco, suicide, blah, 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 because it's banned in this country, that country. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, I wonder, like, if this time period is ever going to finish. Hopefully, it's not going to be like, oh, we're entering a world war and then everyone becomes more masculine. But, like, this concept of, like, we need to keep people safe. In other words, treat them like children and control every single aspect of their life, like manage everything about them. I mean, just so you can understand the madness, I can't burn leaves outside of my home because of the EU. Because, like, there may be a fire, right? So, like, the autumn leaves that fall from the trees, it's traditional in Romania to burn them. Well, you can't anymore because it could cause a fire. Well, I mean, if it could, I mean, obviously, right? By this logic, I would hope that the legislative from the EU is prevented from entering the parliamentary building, because if they get in there, they could pass legislation that lowers our standard of living. Why can't we have safetyism from politicians? Wouldn't that be fucking great? Yeah, like, prevent politicians. Then you got legislation stability. No more unpredictability. We already know the laws. There's no new laws coming. That would be amazing. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you in the comment section. Oh, and I need to chill. Yeah, check the pinned comment. Take care.